going on, guys? Sorry about the worst camera quality ever, but I decided I might as well go and do another manga collection since I'm now at 101 volumes. So without further ado, let's start. And I will be talking about each individual series. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. Just had to replace my light bulb, and that's pain. So let's start with 5 centimeters per second. Have not read it. Absolutely nothing about it. But I do have high hopes for it. Because a lot of people say it's very good. But one thing I can mention pretty much from the start is that the artwork and cover art is absolutely gorgeous. Shine towards the light. I really do like that a lot. Let's see if I can put that back in with one hand. Oh, nope. Pages are bending. I'm a quality over quantity kind of guy. Next we have Azumanga Daioh, the 3-in-1, or I don't know how many, omnibus, which is... Alright, I'm about to make a lot of fans mad, but something about it just wasn't as interesting. I find more... Because this relied mostly on slapstick humor, and I'm more of a sarcastic, ironic kind of person. Or, like funny voices or something like that. Not, slapstick, really. So, but it was entertaining. It was a very loosely connected story, and such. And the artwork was, well, meh. Everything about the series was really meh. The comedy, meh. Artwork, meh. Panel design, meh. Characters, meh. Next we have Bakuman. Still have not gotten any since the last collection video, mainly because, just like I said, I'm not interested in it as I was before. But then again, that was a time when I really wasn't a big fan of Sugumi Oba and Takeshi Obata, because they're very talking, story through dialogue kind of person. But whatever, it's still very good. Don't let my old opinion affect you. It's good. It's just not as interesting to me as it would be to others. Next we have Black Cat Volume 1. This, once again, was something I was sort of interested in, sort of not. I do think it could be better, but for right now, it's still pretty good. Next we have Bleach Volume 1. Good, but not good enough to want me to get other volumes. So yeah, next we have, I'm going to pull this out, so it's going to be very hard to see the spine. We have Blade of the Immortal, Volume 1, Blood of 1,000. One thing you'll notice immediately from this color is that this manga is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The artwork, while you're reading it, and actually Code Provider said this, it looks like it's animated. It's so good. Looks like it's animated. And it's very good overall. I'm holding it with one hand in a very awkward position. But, the volumes aren't exactly common because it's small. For one, it's M rated. And when I say M, I mean mature audiences only. For those who don't live in the US. And, yeah. But that doesn't mean it's not good. It's still very good. It just, it's just hard to find. And I don't want to order off of Amazon because I've had bad experiences, as you will see coming up. Next, we have Death Note, volumes 1 through 12. I actually finally got around to buying the rest and finished. And I can say wholeheartedly, it was awesome. Absolutely amazing. There was a time when I first made my first collection video, which was terrible, don't watch it, in which I thought that Death Note was merely overrated and poorly made, but it really picks up around volume 5, and really 4, 5, 6, and 7 was an awesome volume, and you'll find out why. 8 through 12, it's a little slow in 8 and 9. 10, it picks up. 11, it's very good. 12 is a little too drawn out, if that makes sense, and the ending was a little anticlimactic. But other than that, it was very good. Very, very good. It's definitely one of my favorites. For those who don't know what about, I don't know where you've been. Have you been in a rock or something? Basically, it's about, a kid finds a notebook in which if you write someone's name down, they'll die, and I guess have their face in their mind. Or else, just be a genocide write John Smith, genocide. But he used it to kill criminals, and detectives want to find him, and eventually, he becomes, not a god, but eventually, he becomes, famous, and people are still trying to find him, and he meets a detective named L, who's the world's greatest detective and is never wrong. It's very good. Yeah. Don't want that dangling. 1 second, please. Alright, now we move into the area where I'm going to be super uncomfortable doing this. We have Dragon Ball Volumes 1 through 9, and then Double Volume 1. I hate having doubles so much, but then again, oh well. I'm going to try to lay down and do this. I'm knocking stuff down all over the place. Alright. Basically, it's kind of hard to give a summary, since there's so much about it. But just assume it is one of the coolest things you've ever read. And this is pretty much what sort of kicked off the shonen battle arena manga. Fully freaking hate it. Don't even remember the story. Is that unrememberable? Such a disgrace to the anime. But it's good looking at least. But still terrible. Full Metal Alchemist Volumes 1 through 13. Still haven't picked up any of it. I finally filled up the gap with Volume 12. Or, no, 11. It's basically about a boy who wants to get his body back. Brothers. And it's got the greatest relationship I've ever seen in a manga ever between a boy and his brother. And truly one of the greatest stories. Because, there's like homunculus and, he meets his dad around volume 10. And it's really good. Next we have Gate 7. Oh, I'm sorry. Really, really gorgeous. Oh my god, the best artwork. Clamp is certainly one of the best art making. They tend to do the same thing though, which is just some sort of magical thing, which can get a little boring. But other than that, it's very good. Next we have Hollow Fields. I like it a lot, but it falls short, the ending is one of those, let's go have ice cream endings, it's just one of those anticlimactic, endings. But other than that, it's very good. Basically, a girl goes to school to create mad scientists, and the principal's trying to get rid of them, and all sorts of stuff. And I'm probably doing something to screw this up right now, but other than that, it's very good. Very good. Do like it a lot. Now I moved where there's better lighting. Or I thought there was. Next we have Inuyasha Viz Big Edition. I didn't mention about Dragon Ball at all, but I freaking love Viz Bigs. And I'll show you why. I gotta be careful. Inuyasha does have a little bit of nudity in it. But for one, look at the book. Amazing quality. Next, all that. And though this isn't a good example, the page quality is far better. It's got that sort of photo-esque feeling, which is very good. But Inuyasha, everyone pretty much knows about it. It was a big hit when the anime came out on Adult Swim back in 2000-something, early 2000s, and I watched it growing up to the point where I am now, and I couldn't get into it, mainly because I was too young to understand the story, and I honestly just couldn't, comprehend it. But it's a very complex story, and I don't know if you like explaining it. But yeah, very good. Like it a lot. Next, Puella Magi Madoka Magica. This anime is dark. It is so dark. Because, like, if the magical girl anime genre, or really genre in general, exists in the real world, this is what I think it would be like. It's so realistic. If you forget about, like, if you got rid of the entire magical girl genre, this would be the most realistic thing ever. Basically, it's about a girl who, cat, really, comes up to her and asks her, if she wants to be a magical girl as a clone, which, I wish they hadn't called them magical girls. I feel like it could have been a bit better. But, if you get past that, the rest of it's flawless. But pretty much, it centers around this one girl who is offered a wish, and if her wish is granted, she has to join the magical girl union, or whatever they call it. And it's dark. That's pretty much it. There's other spin-off series. I think one's like Orinaka Magica or something like that. There's some spin-offs. Well, not really spin-offs, more sequel series than anything else. But other than that, it's pretty good. Negima, haven't read it. I heard some wondrous things about it, but I just haven't gotten around to actually reading it because, an old man once said, "Don't read something you're not interested in at all." Actually, I am interested in it, but, just haven't gotten around to reading it. I probably will one day. Next, we have Neon Genesis Evangelion Volumes 1 through 9. This is not... Don't correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Evangelion originally was just an anime created by Gainax, who are known for having those so-so animes with the so-so endings. Though, Gurren Lagann. This one, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Fully Coolly, are great ones. Just to name a few. They also did, This Ugly Yet Beautiful World, which is okay, but personally my favorite is Fully Coolly, just because it's so insane crazy. There's like Matrix sections, I think there's, and, don't quote me on this, but I believe there was a section where it went to like South Park's sort of artwork, and that was hilarious. I really do like Fully Coolly, and I should have talked about it more whenever I was on that, but this one's good. It's basically a mech fighting one, and I love mechs, as some of you will not know. Though I haven't played Titanfall, quite ironic. But really, quickly, I really do love what they did with this. You can't see it on the purple one, but you can see it on the blue one. It says and then Gel on that one, and that one says Eva. It's really cool. Next, we have One Piece Volumes 1 through 10. Basically, everyone under the sun has read, heard, or at least heard of One Piece. It's the most popular manga of all time, even beating out Dragon Ball. Well, I don't think Dragon Ball is probably the most popular worldwide, because at least everyone knows the name. But, One Piece, in terms of people actually being into, is probably the most popular, at least in Japan. And it's good. It's really good. It's a little over the top at some points, but it's really good. Specifically, volumes 6, 7, and 8 are good. 9 and 10 are good. It's all good. It's really good. Now, as you can see, the way they print out the volumes is different. As you see right here, the more modern ones are printed with this sort of black, should I zoom this forward? A more blackish outline on the letters, whereas the older ones were like a goldish outline that was really shiny. But I like the newer ones just a bit more, simply because, well, one, I like the look of the lettering a bit more, along with, it says the arc on it, which is, this one's East Blue, pretty much all the way throughout, which is, of course, I haven't gotten that far into it, specifically because, manga's expensive. It's expensive. Like, this entire collection, probably, around borderline $1,000 to $2,000, just for 101 volumes. Though, you can get like 20 something in box sets are best to go with. Though I will never buy one, because that's just not me. Next, Rosario Vampire Volumes 1 through 7. Freaking love this. It's I told about this a lot. Basically, Rosario Vampire was the first anime I ever went through entirely and finished. And then, when I finished, because it has season 1 and then season 2 is called Kapu 2. So I went on Google and was like, is there a Kapu 3? No, there wasn't. Though there's apparently plans to it. Gonzo can't do anything right. It's serious. Gonzo sucks with their art, with their animation, except for a few exceptions. They're lazy. Whenever the earthquake happened in 2010, and people stopped buying. Yeah, sure, they sort of fell in the drain, but they decided to cancel all of it. And I believe there even was going to be a season 3 of this, but alas, there wasn't. Basically, it's centered around a boy who goes to a school called Yokai Academy, which is a school for monsters, and they're all disguised as humans. Like that one's a vampire who has a rosary on her neck. That's Rosario Vampire. That one, the blue-haired one, is a succubus. The white one, who is technically the one with the white hair, which is technically just the true form. The one with the pink hair is a vampire. The one that looks like a 10-year-old is a witch. She's supposed to be like a genius. The one with sort of silverish gray hair, or purplish hair, is like an ice queen. And she is really cool. And that one, the idiot on the spine of Volume 6, is a human who spoiler warning. Alright, they skipped. He is a vampire. He turns into a vampire around volume. 3 is when we first see him go into a vampire mode. Because he gets bitten and temporarily is a vampire. Then 4 through 5 he's not. Then 6, he is a vampire. 7 was a really good volume, by the way. And then next we have. But anyways, Rosario Vampire is really great. And technically, whenever I finished Rosario Vampire the anime, I went, looking for season 3. There wasn't one, and then I went on Amazon to buy the manga because I heard the manga pretty much extends the story. I was willing to read because I was so interested. And I didn't buy it, even though my mom told me I could. So I decided to, just not buy it. And I watched Fullmetal Alchemist. I was like, I have got to get the manga now. And then I bought the Fullmetal Alchemist manga, and eventually I bought Rosario Vampire. Both are really good, and I highly recommend both. Now we have Rurouni Kenshin volumes 1 through 9, or 1 through 3 in the Viz Big Edition. How should I put this? Rurouni Kenshin was out when Dragon Ball came out, and of course Dragon Ball is the most popular worldwide manga of all time. So this didn't really have a good chance, but it did well. It did extremely well, despite having massive competition. A little sick now. Yet, it died, pretty much. Whenever the last volume came out, interest in it was slowly declining. Then in 2013, just completely gone in terms of interest. Like, only a few people even knew about it. Then, the creator Nobuhiro Watsuki decides, hey, why don't I bring it back? And Rurouni Kenshin Reborn, or something like that. Or, Revelation, I'm sure. And from what I hear, it's not doing too well. Which is really a shame, because it's really good. But, the cover art for the single volumes is the worst thing ever. Don't ever buy the single volumes, because the cover art, it's awful, but the actual Vizbigs are good, and I'll show you why I like Vizbigs a lot. Let me just grab one from the shelf. Basically, there's a little water damage on it, because, there's a day when I had it in my book bag, and it rained extremely heavily, while I was outside. But basically why I like it is because there's a few pages that are in color, which is just awesome. So yeah. I really do like this series, and I really do like Vizbigs. Let's just try to get that back in. Scoot in. Oh god, it's so tight. Because I pretty much am filling this. You know, I have this down here. All that room, just, for tighter and more organized. And you may have noticed it's in alphabetical order. Little OCD about that. Next, we have Shugochara, volumes 1 and 2. It's good. I'll move this a little bit. Actually, I'll put this picture back. It's good, but it suffers from very confusing at first. It does get more and more, drawn out and very simple. But at first, it just blasts you with so much information. And just like, I don't even know who this character is. Then we move on. It's a Magical Girl one by Peach Pit, who I think they did work with Clamp at one point. Well, actually, I can look at that real quick. Did they work with Clamp at all? No, I don't think they did. But, it's the same people who bought, Rose and Maiden, and, Deers, which, haven't read either, because I'm cheap, and I don't want to buy any that I don't know about. Now Silent Mobius, volumes 1 and 2. I'm gonna state this directly. These have the worst, absolute worst translation I've ever seen. And when I say worst, I mean, it's one of those, well, for one, let's just state the obvious. Blade of the Immortal, I can excuse because it's so good. This one is simply average, and the problem with it, this isn't in the original form. This is graphic novel form. I don't like that. Though I did buy these used, and they came in pretty good condition. But still, can't help but wish, they were in their original format. Yeah. Someone's in my house. I was eerily silent. Next is Soul Eater Volumes 1 and 2. Anime's better. Plain simple, anime's better. But that's not saying these are bad. The anime's just better. Plus, these take absolute years to come out. I mean, there's like, 26 out in, Japan, yet there's only 11 or 13 out in the US. So, yeah. And finally, we have X, by Clamp, which I literally just finished today. It's good, but Clamp, I'll show you. My problem with this is, let's see if I can find an example. There we go. The characters are drawn with that little, diamond shape, where broad in shoulders with very thin waists. This where, just slowly skin down. And I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Though this doesn't say Visbig on it, though. I consider it to be, it has colored pages and stuff. Which, you may not be able to see it right now. Let's see if I can. You see there's a little, crack right there. People at my school love throwing my stuff, and I don't know why. They'll just throw it everywhere. Which is why my Manga Dial Omnibus has bent corners. So, this is something I read at home. Bought this brand new. Still in the same condition as when I ordered it. My Rosario Vampire volumes, all of them are in perfect condition. You could sell them, and you pretty much wouldn't get in trouble. You could sell them for new and wouldn't get in trouble. But yeah. I'll show you that one thing of why I hate ordering off of Amazon real quick. Because, we're moving on to 24 minutes. Basically, Death Note, my volume 2 of Death Note, came in the worst condition. The back doesn't look too bad. Back, this flashlight's using. The back doesn't look too bad, until you look there, where there's a clear hole that was punched in the back of the book. Why anyone would need to punch a hole, I don't know. So I repaired it with tape, just because, you know, didn't want it out. Then we turn to the front. A giant freaking tear right there. Are you kidding me? No. No! I don't like that. Then, you know, the cover, you know, is almost torn off. And, you know, you know, there's writing all over the pages and stuff. It's so readable. But my god, the person that owned this just had no respect. None. Though, you know, Volume 2 is a really good volume. Anyways, that was my manga collection. Right here, yeah, just, you know, a few things, you know, I got from Anime Week in Atlanta, a Spanish dictionary, a few books, and yeah, plenty I got from Winning. Without further ado, I'm gonna blind you guys. Hope you've been blinded. People with epilepsy have just died. Alright, I'm rambling. Bye guys.